Hey, I'm Gabby, also known as Senorita Gabita. Welcome back, or if you're new here, welcome. In today's video, I'm testing out for the first time the Ohuhu paper-friendly coloring markers. The markers are water-based and they have in the set 59 colors in one colorless blender. And they also have a brush and fine liner dual tips. I already did an unboxing video for my Instagram account and you can find it in the description down below if you are curious. And right now I want to do the testing in my beloved small sketchbook. I'm using here the sketchbook from Royal Talents Art Creation, a very small size because I'm using the sketchbook mainly for testing out new art supplies. Right now I'm blending the colors together in the green leaf. I'm using a very light green shade for the base color, then a middle tone, and then in the end I'm picking up a very dark green, and with the three colors together I was able to achieve a very smooth blending. I was surprised how I was able to achieve this smooth blending very easy and quick. It was like drawing with alcohol markers, so the whole drawing process was for me very familiar. And I was very pleased that obviously because they are water-based, they have this kind of strong of alcohol smells. So I didn't have any headache while drawing with them, because sometimes when I'm drawing a long time with alcohol markers, I tend to get a headache. So I was very pleased with this positive side effect of the water-based markers. As I said, for me was this drawing process very familiar because I have a lot of experience with alcohol markers, so I was drawing all the time, like blending from a light color to a dark color, but you can of course use the colorless blender for achieving this type of blending as well if you don't have that much practice with blending water-based or alcohol markers. In the past, I had a little bit of experience with water-based markers, but they weren't that positive at the time because I didn't like them. Each time I was trying to draw with them in my sketchbook, or mixing colors, or trying to blend them together, I was damaging the paper, peeling off the surface. So it wasn't that of a good experience with them to draw with water-based markers, but after receiving the new Ohuhu water-based markers, I was very surprised about the good quality of them and about the upgraded ink, because you can see right now I'm blending with a very dark green color and using several layers to achieve a very smooth blending, and I didn't have any kind of problems like damaging the surface, peeling off the paper, or something like that, or any smudges. I was very happy about this very smoothly drawing process. Like also here with the strawberry, you can see I'm using a very strong, vibrant pink, almost red, and the paper was holding the colors very good without any problems, without any damage of the surface. So this is a very good positive point about this markers. And right now I'm showing you also some pages from before, like the orange and almost black cats. I'm using there a new fountain pen, and if you are curious how I use them in my sketchbook, how I achieve this type of illustration. I will add in the description down below also the videos about the illustration. It is only a simple topic that I really like to use for testing out new art supplies. I always stick to a very simple illustration, like drawing strawberries or flowers, or drawing something very cute like cats or so on, so I don't have to think that much about the illustration concept, only about how the colors works together, how the paper reacts to it, how I can draw with a new art supply, so on. So I always tend to draw something easy for learning new art supplies. I can totally see myself to use these markers from Ohuhu more in my sketchbook or in my free time when I have a little bit time to sketch something very quickly. I really like them. They are easy to use and also very fun to use. And I think for simple illustration or sketching some ideas for upcoming stickers or so on, they are perfect. For alcohol markers, I tend a little bit more time. I want to achieve a more high quality illustration, but for so simple illustration, I think they are the right choice. And also they are very cheap compared to other water-based markers or compared to the alcohol markers. I think they are right now around let me see, around $30 for 60 colors. I think this is a very good deal if you want to try them out, or maybe you want to start drawing. I think they are very good and you can achieve a very similar drawing technique like alcohol markers. And I think that will be also a very good present for Christmas maybe. And yes, I will add the markers in it also in my Amazon storefront if you are curious to try them out. And in the end, I'm filling out the spaces of the blank sketchbook page with a blue color. I don't know why, but always when it's getting cold and dark and it's snowing outside, I always draw something very with spring vibes, because I miss the spring or the warm weather. So I found it very funny to see right now that I'm drawing something like that when outside it's very cold. And right now also in Germany or in my town is snowing, and yes, I don't know. What I also forgot to tell you about is the other nib of the markers. You have on the one side the brush nib, and the other one is a very small and fine liner tip, and I'm using the fine liner tip for the details this time, and adding some lines there and some texture. And I don't have that much to say about the fine liner. They are good. They do what they have to do. They have a very firm tip, so the line didn't change that much from the thickness, so it's very easy to use. Actually, I use for my line work or for some details colored pencil, but I think maybe I will switch time to time to use this other side of the markers for the final details. After adding all the line work with the fine liner tip, I'm using then my beloved acrylic marker from Posca. I'm still searching a similar kind of acrylic marker with the same opaqueness, because it is very good for highlights and sparkles and little stars, but they are a little bit expensive compared to other brands. But I didn't find any other brand with the same quality for the highlights. You can see how opaque the white acrylic marker is, and also the tip is very fine. I have from the same brand Mosca, a fine liner acrylic marker, and it's so good for the tiny sparkles and highlights. So I can also recommend it to you if you are looking for a pen for highlights. So, and yes, I'm finishing this illustration with the highlights with some sparkles here and there, and I really think that these final steps improve the whole illustration and make it like something very magical and unique. And yes, this is all what I have to say about this review. I really can recommend the water-based paper-friendly coloring markers. And yes, if you like this type of video, don't forget to leave a thumb up and to subscribe. And then please stay creative, and then I will see you in the next video. Bye bye.